My husband slapped an eviction notice on the kitchen table. He smiled and said, "You have 30 days to get out. My girlfriend is moving in." He thought he was a genius. He thought he had all the power. But there was one tiny detail he forgot to check. He didn't check who actually owned the building. You are watching Confession Journal. Here is how I made him homeless in 24 hours. Let me back up. My husband, Dave, has always been ambitious, but not hard-working ambitious. More like scammer ambitious. When we got married, I made a choice to keep my finances separate. I inherited a small apartment complex from my grandmother 3 years ago. But I never told Dave. I knew if he found out I had money, he would stop working. So for 3 years, I pretended to pay rent to a landlord. I even wrote checks to a fake LLC I created. Dave thought we were just struggling tenants. He constantly complained about the greedy landlord who wouldn't fix the sink. I just nodded and smiled, while I secretly deposited the rent checks back into my own savings account. But last month, Dave got a promotion, and suddenly he didn't need me anymore. He started coming home late. He started hiding his phone, and then he brought Jessica home for dinner. He introduced her as his assistant, but I saw the way he looked at her. 2 days later, he dropped the bomb. He told me he had signed a new lease with the landlord directly. He said, "I spoke to the owner. He likes me. He agreed to kick you out and let me keep the apartment." I was confused. How could he speak to the owner? I am the owner. Then I realized he had faked a lease. He forged a document to scare me into leaving voluntarily. He looked me in the eyes and said, "Pack your bags, honey. Jessica needs the closet space." I felt my blood turn to ice. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just said, "Okay, I'll leave." He laughed. He actually laughed. I packed a small bag. I walked out the door. And then I walked straight into the property management office downstairs. I printed out the deed to the building. I printed out the bank statements showing I was the one paying the mortgage. And then I called the police. I told them there was a trespasser in my unit who had forged legal documents. 2 officers met me at the door. I used my master key to unlock it. Dave and Jessica were on the couch, drinking my wine. When Dave saw the cops, he jumped up. "Officer," he yelled, "get this woman out of here. I have a lease." He waved his fake piece of paper in the air. The officer looked at me. I handed the officer the real deed. The officer looked at it, then looked at Dave. "Sir," the officer said, "this document says your wife owns this entire building." Dave's face went pale. He looked at me. "What? That's impossible." "Get out," I said. "But where will I go?" he stammered. "Ask Jessica," I replied. Jessica was already putting her shoes on. She ran out the door before the cops could even ask for her ID. Dave was escorted out in handcuffs for forgery. That was yesterday. Dave is currently sleeping in his Honda Civic in the parking lot of my building. He has sent me 50 texts. He says I trapped him. He says I lied by omission because I never told him I was rich. He says a good wife would share her inheritance. My mother thinks I should let him back in for one night because it's snowing outside. She says be the bigger person. But I look out the window, and I see him texting Jessica. So I closed the blinds. But now I'm asking you, am I the jerk for letting my husband freeze in his car? Or did he get exactly what he evicted himself into? Let me know in the comments. And subscribe to Confession Journal for the update next week.